This is the end. There is a beginning, a middle, and an end. Together, I'll tell you the story of the machine and how the world will end. It wasn't easy getting over Griffin's death, but I'll spare you the details of my mourning and coping. When Griff died, I had, an epiphany of sorts, an awakening. I realized I'm only human, and so was he. But we were acting like we were gods. We thought we had everything. We broke the laws that the universe had set, and we gave the middle finger to the cosmos. We are the outlaws of the universe, the writers of the rules, with no police in sight, Griff used to say. But we weren't. We were two humans, mortal and easily wounded. We would die off eventually, and be a useless sack of bone and flesh just like everyone else. We just found a little loophole in the universe. Something that God forgot to patch up. But with the machine came power. There was no denying that. I was human, yes, but I wielded a weapon no one else had. It would be like bringing a nuclear bomb to a sword fight. That's what I thought. A weapon no one else had. A tool that no one else had. In those couple months that passed after his death, I thought of destroying the machine. But of course, I didn't. I didn't want to go back to my old life. I didn't want to work all day. I wanted to have a good time, and I wanted to change the world. I didn't have a good time, though. I was an absolute shut-in. I worked day and night for months on the solution. Let me tell you how I was going to try to help humanity. Here's what I programmed into the machine, roughly in layman's terms. Copy Earth into the machine. Remove human beings, animals, and any sentient life from copy. Remove atmospheric pollution from copy. Remove man-made everything from the copy. Infrastructure, roads, waste, etc. Replace man-made infrastructure with roughly the same terrain from surrounding environment. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it took a long time to get all that programmed correctly. And I know there are some issues with it, but compared to other solutions I had thought of, the drawbacks were minimal. My plan was to place this edited copy of Earth on the other side of the sun. Do you get it? There'd be a second Earth, the same distance from the sun but on the other side of it, revolving around the same direction and speed that Earth is. Then, after I would place it there, scientists would find out quickly of its existence, and we could travel to it and start anew. A whole new clean planet for mankind. It was a temporary solution, but nonetheless, a solution. A step in the right direction. I was about 2 days out from executing the commands and placing New Earth into existence. Unfortunately, something happened before I could do that. I was sitting on my bed, staring at the machines, just thinking. I can't remember what about, exactly. But all of a sudden, one of them disappeared. It happened right in front of my eyes. Deleted, erased, vanished. Or taken. I wondered for a split second. But it wasn't just gone. In its place, a note laid on the ground. I walked over to it. It was a single sheet of yellow paper torn off a legal pad. It had coordinates written on them, and then beneath it said, "Let's talk here." Dread flowed through my veins and filled my brain. But I managed to stay calm. I googled the coordinates, making sure I wasn't about to transport myself to the middle of the ocean, or some volcano. I wasn't. The coordinates were set for somewhere in Utah, USA. There was nothing around for miles. I guess that was the safest place to talk. Like when Griffin told me about the machine in the mountains, I recalled. I put the coordinates in the machine and set it for me and the machine, so I had a way to get back, to be transported there, and I hit enter. Just like that, faster than I could blink, I was standing in a cornfield in the middle of Utah. The machine lay next to me on the dirt. I heard the cornstalks jostle around in front of me, and emerging from the noise was a figure, slowly approaching. He was wearing jeans, a white t-shirt, and cowboy boots. His hair was white and matched the scruff on his face. "Hello," he said in a deep, flat voice. "Hi," I said simply. We stood unmoving, just staring at each other. Sizing each other up, maybe? "I assume you know why I asked you to come here." "The machine?" "Yes, if that's what you want to call it." "You have one too, huh?" He laughed at this. He laughed for a very long time. "No, boy, no. My machine is right up here." He tapped his finger on his forehead. "How?" But before I could finish, he took the same finger from his head and pointed at the machine lying next to me. It disappeared immediately. "You see," he said, "I don't need a hunk of metal like you do." I was dumbfounded. "What are you?" He walked a little closer to me. "If you're religious, you'd call me God, or perhaps the devil." "And what would you call yourself?" Maybe a little bit of both. There's no use for names where I come from." "And where is that? Where do you come from?" "Utah." He said that with a straight face. I furrowed my brow. It was silent. Then he busted out laughing again, harder this time. "Oh man. Oh, I almost had you, didn't I? Utah. Ha! Me? From Utah?" He kept laughing. "What is wrong with you? What do you want?" He calmed down some. "I wanted to let you know that it's over. This whole universe thing." "What? What do you mean?" "Well, the whole reason your machine thingy works at all is because this universe is broken. I'm going to start all over." "Start over?" "Yes, start over. Delete, and then let there be light again, and all that jazz." "So you created all this. You really are like a god." He shrugged. "I created it, yes." "Why not just fix this one? You don't have to delete a whole universe because one guy figured out a mistake in it." "Maybe I'd fix it if this happened earlier, like in the 1200s or so. I would have fixed it. All the good stuff came after that. The things I didn't want to miss. Black Plague, slavery, the most exciting wars, genocide, etc., etc." "What? The good stuff? What the hell are you talking about?" "Oh, don't act so surprised. You think the entire universe, so I could watch people hold hands and sing happy songs? No. That's no fun. You know what is fun, huh? Do you want to know what is fun?" His voice was growing maniacal, more wicked sounding. I didn't answer. I knew he would continue anyway. He smiled wide. "What's fun is watching your stupid little monkey brains develop over hundreds of thousands of years. One day, one of you rubs two sticks together and creates fire. You ooh and ah over pretty bright lights, but then you discover it's hot, so ouch, don't touch. And then you beat all odds against you and somehow start communicating and developing language. Building relationships. Trust. Then your stupid little monkey brains stumble upon the idea of putting food in the ground to grow. Farming. Ding, ding, ding. And you build little cities around those farms. You start making those property is whose. You begin to trade with other little stupid monkey brain communities. You do this for a long time and some battles take place. But then real civilization comes next. Rome is built. Education is more widespread and your stupid little monkey brains are getting smarter. Empires rise and fall. Countries are resurrected and borders are drawn. Wars are fought. Your brains are now smart, you think. You build transportation. Boats turn into trains and trains turn into cars and cars turn into planes. Your first weapons were sticks and fire. Now you have weapons so powerful everyone is too scared to use them. But what never stops is the fighting. Oh, how great it is to watch. You fight over invisible lines you call borders, skin color, and birth location. And whose god is the right one? That's my favorite. A fight as old as humans. Which god is the real one? All the while I sit here and laugh at you all. Me, I laugh. I'm your master. I'm your god. I'm your devil. I stood frozen, hesitant to move or talk, unsure if I even could. You see now, he said. All the fun stuff is in the past now. The credits are about to roll. The climax is over and done with. In a decade or two, this world will have ended by nuclear bombs and the nuclear winter that follows. Or a little later down the line, the pollution would be so bad you'd suffocate yourselves. That's not fun to watch. That's boring. You see now, yes? I don't care to stick around for that. That's watching the credits roll. The show is over. I still hadn't moved, but gained some composure. I tried to ignore everything he said, but I still asked, is it just us in the universe? Is there not life anywhere else? No other planet to keep you entertained? He crossed his arms. Think of Earth as a nutrient. You eat dinner, you absorb the nutrient. You shit out the next day. Okay? You see, Earth is that tiny bit of nutrients that's important. The rest, he gestured towards the sky, is waste. Cosmic waste. Just a byproduct of creating this planet. Earth is the only thing that matters. I'd never felt so small in my entire life until he spoke those words. All that space in the universe with nothing inhabiting it. It's just us, all alone on this floating rock. I was stunned, angry, and upset. Why are you telling me this? Because deleting an entire universe takes time. It's fragile, very fragile. I can't have things being created, destroyed, or moving during the process. Yeah? Well, what if I go home and build another machine? I could delete you. He laughed again, only slightly. You think you could do that? Sure. This form I take now is made of atoms and molecules, but I am not. I'm something your simple brain can't even fathom. I exist beyond this universe. You can't destroy me, even if you tried. I felt like I was about to cry. Why can't you just leave this universe alone? There's only room for one at a time. Don't take it personally, kid. You'll still be around for a couple months, maybe a year. Try to enjoy it. Like I said, it takes time. I had nothing else to say, and for the first time, neither did he. He simply pointed at me, and all at once I was back in my bedroom, alone. All alone. I sat still for a couple hours, hoping it was all a fever dream of sorts, but I knew it wasn't. Now I tell you all this only to say, do not blame me. Do not shoot the messenger. Without Griffin's discovery of the machine, we wouldn't even have had any warning. So spend time with your loved ones. Do what makes you happy. Be good to others and live a good life while you can. There's nothing we can do. It won't be too long until we're gone. A secret between you, me, and God.